Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's start our discussion of measuring the variables. So I want to recap the last discussion of ours. Started from the how we can operationalize the variables. Without operationalizing the variables, we cannot use them. We cannot calibrate them. We cannot measure them. So it's very important that we understand the type of a variable so that we can measure them well. When we talk about the type of a variable, there are two types of variable. One is the objective, other one is the subjective one. Objective variable example is age, gender, thirst, etc. So most of the demographics are, yes, marital status. Most of the demographics are the objective variable. And the objective variable is the one which can be measured by a single item, by a single question. So when we talk about the subjective variable is the one which can be measured by multiple items. And when we talk about the multiple items, we need to understand that the subjective variable can have dimensions, multiple dimensions. Any subjective variable may have multiple dimensions, and every dimension may have multiple elements, and every element may have multiple items. So this is very important to understand that if you do not define, if you do not operationalize the variable the way it should be, then your results will not be representing the or solving the problem of yours. So it's very important that you calibrate or measure the variables properly. Okay. Then we talked about the 3 steps of operationalization. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So when we talk about the 3 steps of operationalization, the first step is defining. Operational definition. Yeah, operational definition. And what is that? It is the definition which represents the variable. It is the representation of the concept actually. And when we talk about the concept, there can be multiple definitions of a same concept. Like I gave you the example of beauty, I gave you example of motivation, I gave you example of the others. So when we talk about any concept can be defined by multiple researchers. So you need to first tell the operational definition of a variable. Second step is
Subject or object variable.
no.
Measure the concept that wants to be measured.
Content of the measures. That is what? When
items
so
Through the questions.
go through the questionnaire. So basically, then we talk about the items. So items can be adopted or adapted. I already explained you. Let me explain it further. Miss, move ahead. So next. You see, this is the example. Very good example. Over here, it's a operational definition of a variable. This is the original version where the variable has been already used to solve the problem. So over there you see these are the elements, or these are the and from these elements these are the items. So this is the original version where the researcher used. Jensen 2000 used these items to measure the variable. Okay? Innovation. Now we have adapted the version, the original version, or your items are here. So you need to explicitly define that what was the previous original version and what is yours. If you are adapting, if you are only adapting, if you are adopting, then there is no need. You see, adaptation comes when we talk about the different culture, when we talk about the difficulty of a language. So we need to adapt the questionnaire so that your respondent can understand your point. It's very much important, because if your questionnaire is very difficult for anyone of your respondent to understand. So he will not be giving you the correct answer anyway. And the respondent never asks, what is this? Sorry, I cannot understand. No, they will never ask you. Okay, so they will answer as per their perception. So it's very important that you adapt it. It is not mandatory, but it is highly recommended that you adapt your questionnaire. So that's how you adapt, and the source must be here, and the Cronby alpha must be here. And basically, with the pilot study of ours, what is pilot study? Through the pilot study, we try to learn about the consistency of your items. If the items are consistent, if all items are representing the same variable, so basically its Cronby alpha value is more than 0.65. So we try to learn from the statistics that what is the perception of the respondents. If the respondent views are like every element is representing the same variable, then it is Cronby alpha value must be more than 0.65. Getting it? Repeating myself again. When the respondents perceive your items same for our variable, all the items same, then your Cronby alpha value must be more than 0.65. So if your Cronby alpha value is more than 0.65, then you can say that my questionnaire is valid. Now I can go for the complete responses that can be more than 300, 1000, 2000 or etc. Without pilot study, we can never be confident that our questionnaire is valid for the study. So basically, respondent tell you. For example, the example is if you want to check the thermometer, what do you do? What do you do? If you want to check the thermometer that whether it is working or not, what will you do? Exactly. Exposed to the environment. When you expose to the environment, it shows you a different temperature. So with the data, you check the product. So likewise, with the data, you check the tool of a questionnaire. And data comes from the respondents. So from the 50 respondents, you get the data, and through that data, you try to learn that the items are perfectly measuring the variable or not. Okay? It's very, very important. So what I just mentioned, anyone would summarize about, especially about the Cronby alpha? What is Cronby alpha?
It's a measuring tool in which you measure the variable. You said earlier that if variables are same, then the Cronby should be more than 0.65.
Not variable, the items are same. Because every variable must have their own items. Very, very important. Every variable must have their own items. Own item means all the items which are representing a single variable. So if there are multiple variables, so it means that the items of the same variable must have the good consistency. For example, the answer of a first question of a same variable is 1. The next is 2. Third is 1. Fourth is 1. That is consistency. So you see, likewise, all of the respondents, 50 respondents, will be giving almost same. Obviously not 1, 2, 1, 1. It may be 2, 2 and 2, 1. It can be like that. But there must be some consistency. If there is consistency between or among the respondents' data, then you can say the Cronby alpha is fine. ठीक है, got it? ये बताइए, what did I say? What is Cronby alpha?
Sir, it's a tool which helps you to find out the respondent data. There is a consistency or not by the help of elements.
बिल्कुल सही है, by the help of items. So when we say it's a tool, you may call its tool Actually, it's a statistical way to analyze the correlation between or among the items. So Cronbach alpha, maybe it's on the name of any researcher, statistical researcher. So Cronbach alpha is the name. So what does it do? It tells you the relationship among the items. If they have a very strong relationship, what does it mean? It means they are representing the same variable. Or when they are representing the same variable, your items are valid. Your question is valid. Got it? That's how it goes. So we were talking about the 3 steps of operationalization. The first was the defining of the variable, and the second is the items, and third is response format. That is very, very important. Response format is very important. Why? Because you need to get the data from the respondents. So if there is no synchronization in your item and the responses options you are giving, then the respondent will not give you a correct one. Correct. May not be able to choose the correct option. This is very important that you give the correct option. For example, if your questions are like I love to study RMS. So when it is being asked that I love to study RMS, the choices must be like strongly disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree, or as per the question. For example, how you visit the particular place, नीचे लिखा हुआ oftenly, very oftenly, sometimes, never. Got it? So that's how the response options are changed. And there are different scales which we are going to study. One is the rating scale, the other one is the ranking scale. Note it down. There are different kind of scales you can use. Rating scales and ranking scales. We will be studying in detail about it. Rating scale and ranking scale. So there are 2 kinds of scales we use. Rating scale is basically is for example, I ask you that what toothpaste you prefer, or niche I will give you all the toothpaste company's name, brands. So you may prefer the Colgate the most, for example, than the other toothpaste. So this is the example of the rating scale. That's how you rate. Ranking scales. Ranking scale. Ranking means you rank it, you number it. Okay? Or when we talk about the rating means what do you think about it? Okay? Like strongly disagree. What do you think about it? Anyway, we will be studying this in detail next. So, are you done with these questions? How many of you have completed the assignment I gave you in the last class yesterday? जी, एक किया था.